Warning, this content is for entertainment and educational purposes only. What's up, everybody?
Good morning.
What's going on, Tanya?
Hey.
After some friendly comments from people in the comments section the other week, I changed the intro to have a countdown now so people know when I'm starting. They don't have to sit around and wonder. So what's new? Amy, you had some news, right?
Yeah, it's really sad. So as most of our regulars will probably know the name Forgotten Friend from the comment section. He is a strongman competitor. He's a strongman pro, and he was supposed to compete yesterday in the Clearwater Classic in Florida. But on Friday night, when he got to Florida, he was in a really bad car accident, and his dog passed away in the accident. So he was injured enough that he couldn't compete. But then, to have your best friend, and she really was, Ellie was his dog, and absolutely his world. So whatever you do, send prayers, send love, send whatever to Forgotten Friend, because he's always been a good supporter of bodybuilding, even though he's a strong man. And I'm just devastated to hear that. I think that's all of our fears as competitors, is that something would happen and we couldn't compete, but then to have your dog pass away instead and have yourself be injured. It's just devastating.
I think he's one of my OG followers. He's been around for a long time.
Yep. Yeah.
He's so big, I thought he was just a meme, like a meme stretched out.
I don't know that I've ever seen him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he came to the booth last year at the Arnold, Paul. We did get to meet him. He's like 6'5".
Yeah.
You'd recognize him. You'd recognize him for sure.
You'll remember him when you see him.
Yeah, big dude. Yeah, great guy. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. Well, that stinks. Sorry to hear that, but we're sending our positive thoughts your way. So on to other stuff. Who's winning the Super Bowl?
It's Patriots, of course.
I know there's
who's going to make this an East Coast, West Coast thing?
No, who's playing?
Yeah, it kind of is.
Yeah.
I only hope the Patriots win, because the Dunkin' Donuts would do some type of fun, free coffee if the Patriots win. I hope that's the only reason I want the Patriots to win.
A donut. It's called Dunkin' Donuts, not Dunkin' Coffee.
It's actually just called Dunkin' now.
What?
Just Dunkin' now. They don't, because they're broadening their reach. So they're more than just donuts. They're coffee. They're sandwiches. So now they're just Dunkin'.
I know donuts suck, but I mean, really?
It makes you wonder who sits in a boardroom and thinks we need to rebrand. We can't be Dunkin' Donuts anymore.
We need to spend all this money to rebrand everything.
We're just going to be Dunkin' from now on.
Yeah, but what's funny is in New England, that's how we've always said it was Dunkin'. It was never really Dunkin' Donuts. It's just we're going to Dunkin's. So it's always
somebody went to Harvard and got an MBA from Harvard to come up with that idea.
Yeah.
Mike, I assume you're a Seahawks fan.
Yeah.
So the Seahawks and Patriots?
That's right.
Josh doesn't even know.
Hold on one second. Are we going to just glaze over the fact that Josh said donuts suck? What is going on? I love donuts. It's like my one weakness. I will absolutely say yes to a donut.
I'm not a big
What's your favorite donut, Dave?
Actually, Boston cream. Wow.
See, that is so very Dunkin' of you. That's like their best donut.
Boston cream. All right.
But
that is one of the better donuts.
Tanya donuts?
I think donuts are a little overrated. I would go for any other dessert before donuts. I'm going to go cookies 100% of the time before donut. But a Krispy Kreme original glazed donut is undeniably excellent.
Laced with crack cocaine, I guarantee it.
As far as Dunkin' Donuts, though, Dunkin' Donuts is my favorite. But my thing at Dunkin' Donuts is their coffee cake muffin.
Yeah, very good. Yeah.
my grandfather would always take me when I was a kid, and it was our thing. Like, he would get a coffee cake muffin and he would give me the top, because obviously that's the best part. And he would get a coffee. So he passed away in 2016, and he was like my father figure. So now every year on Father's Day, his birthday, and the day that he passed, I go to Dunkin' Donuts and I get a coffee cake muffin and a coffee. Depending on my macros, I might have to split that coffee cake muffin over a couple of days because it's like 600 calories. But that's my thing.
Tanya, your camera's frozen. I don't know if you can unfreeze yourself, but just as is she frozen for you guys? She's frozen for me. Yeah.
Yes,
yeah, it's frozen. Here in the Virginia, North Carolina area, we have down here Duck Donuts are legendary. That's what we have down here.
Am I still frozen, or is it okay?
No,
you're still frozen.
All right, I'm gonna go out and come back in.
Steve Taylor asked if I have had Voodoo Donuts. Yes, they are a Denver institution, and yes, I have. I think if you're going to eat a Voodoo donut, you have to get it at like midnight. They are 24 hours a day, and they have these. They actually look like they have a donut that looks like a voodoo doll. I'm not a huge donut person.
I'm not.
Oh, I think we have a dude. Oh, this is a donut stream. All right, we got two.
I would eat a cookie over a donut any day, but then again, I make fantastic cookies. So
did I forget to send Gonzo the link again?
Again, he's in his spy outfit in his lair, waiting to join.
Oh, we got to find out where he got that, because that looks amazing.
So you say Voodoo is a Denver institution?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they have it in Portland too now. I think that's where they branched out to. So
they started in Portland.
Oh, I thought they started in Denver.
As a former food addict, I can tell you they probably started in Portland. Yeah.
Tanya, you are no longer frozen.
Sweet. I'm sure it was a very unflattering freeze frame too.
It was like this.
It's never just a normal face.
No.
Hey, it's Gonzo.
Today, by the way.
Parlor Donuts. I thought Parlor Donuts started in the Midwest, but yeah, they're amazing.
We have Parlor Donuts here in Georgia.
Yeah.
I've never heard of Parlor Donuts.
Oh yeah, they're like a croissant kind of. Or what do they call those?
Fancy
cronuts.
Cronuts. They're like a cronut. Yeah.
Gonzo, you must have just been on the trigger, man. I sent you that link and you were on a half second later.
So I was already on it, like watching you guys. So it was like, oh, okay. So
yeah, sorry. Just ping me. I forgot to send it to everybody this morning.
No worries at all. No worries at all.
Mike reminded me, and
the only reason I even saw it on mine, because Sunday is my no Instagram day. I don't go on Instagram, but I was watching Broderick's live this morning when you sent it. So that's the only reason I saw it.
Yes.
Every day is no Instagram day for me.
I gotta say one last thing about donuts, and I swear we can stop with donuts. But the what was actually, it's not a donut. What was that place we went to, Paul, when we went down your way that had the Pop-Tarts that were like homemade Pop-Tarts for breakfast?
Oh, yeah, it's the breakfast place, and the name escapes me now.
Even Tanya would like these Pop-Tarts because I know she's got a
they make homemade Pop-Tarts. It's like their shtick.
Yeah, they were so good. They're literally homemade and just fantastic.
Y'all are not helping my diet whatsoever.
The original Oreos are delicious. Like, yeah, let's all right. We can stay here and just keep going. I know at least two of you are on preps, and
Ted's Bulletin. That's it. Yeah, Ted's Bulletin.
Yeah, those are great.
We're all going to be in Pittsburgh in July. We found a donut place there. I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but there's some fantastic donuts in Pittsburgh.
Nice.
All right, so donuts top treat. Who says donuts is their top treat? Raise your hand.
Top? That's
top treat.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
That's me. Yeah, definitely donuts for me.
All right, what's your top treat, everybody? Start with Amy.
Oh, I'll take cookies all day.
Cookies.
Yep.
Yeah.
Amy, are you baking for the Arnold?
Bread pudding with ice cream. Hot bread pudding with cold ice cream. Yeah. That's me.
This is Ted's Bulletin. They make these homemade Pop-Tarts.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they have crazy greasy breakfast. If you want a greasy breakfast and you're in the DMV, that's the place to go.
I'll have that before a regular Pop-Tart.
I'm gonna have some strawberry Pop-Tarts in a minute. Hello.
Yeah, I think I did a s'mores. I think I did s'mores or something like that. It was really
s'mores.
Good. Yeah,
just s'mores.
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 There's an apostrophe in there. He's correct.
Some more s'mores.
S'mores. I'm in the South. We got to take stuff out. We got to speak faster.
That's right.
We got another bread pudding fan. Dalton is a bread pudding as well.
I do have to throw in tres leches in there because token Spanish guy. So I do have to throw that in there.
See, both of those are just kind of soggy bread to me.
Oh, so but peanut butter and jelly on a hamburger, is that considered a dessert? Because that's probably my favorite.
To me, bread pudding is like something my mom would make when we didn't have any money, and that was all she could scrap together from the cupboard. Some old bread and eggs, and I don't know, not my favorite. I mean,
your mom sounds awesome though.
Yeah, I'm very basic. Like my goodies, I like basic things. Like if you're doing pie, like I just like apple pie. I don't really care for fancy.
Oh, frozen pecan for sure. Frozen pecan.
My wife makes the most incredible carrot cake. It's like an orgasm in your mouth. It's fantastic.
Good carrot cake is hard to beat.
Yeah, that did not come out right.
No, that's how those come out. Generally come out in your mouth.
Ooh, peanut butter fudge. That's it.
Right.
Peanut butter fudge sounds good. Man, are we all getting ready for the Super Bowl snacks and all that? Is that what's happening here?
Delicious.
Is that what this is?
Wait until people get deeper in
I don't care about the Super Bowl.
The ads used to be funny. I don't know if they still are. It's been a while.
I'm a football nut. You guys, when you get deep in contest prep, I know a lot of people are doing food porn. Do you sit around and watch YouTube videos of food when you're on contest?
I never got into that. Like, I want to eat the food. Watching the food doesn't do anything for me. No matter how depleted I am, how hungry I am, looking at food never does anything for me. And I love food more than anybody.
No, I got into sports because I was watching strong men eat their food, like Brian Shaw and stuff. Like, I could eat a lot of food.
I don't remember which prep it was, but it was a few years ago, and I started watching baking shows towards the end of prep, and I'm like, that's not a thing that I'd ever do. Yeah. Like I'm not going to fucking. Man, you get manic like towards the end of prep. You're on Amazon buying shit you normally don't buy. Looking at
what's up with that? By the way, I'd noticed that
dopamine hit.
Dopamine.
Yeah, dopamine's all depleted.
And it's something fun that you don't need to spend calories on. It's kind of I think what it happens.
Keeps your mind entertained.
Well, but think about it, saying like, yay, more needles, thanks Amazon.
No, like when I'm on. When I'm on prep and I'm really hungry, like it's not watching like food videos as much as it is watching people eat like way too much food. That
he was a mukbang.
Well, no, it's or like Joel. I mean, like honestly, like watching Joel's videos because like you watch that and you're like, no, like don't want to feel like that. Like I might be hungry, but I'm not that hungry. Like I'm not.
That's a good idea.
Like that kind of hungry. Yeah.
So when I was doing the first contest prep of last year on Reddit TrueTide, it was kind of interesting. I didn't even think about it. I didn't scroll food. I didn't. And then I actually got to Seattle to do the Emerald Cup. A friend of mine said, "Hey, so what are you going to have for a cheat meal?" And it was literally the first time that I had thought about food and a cheat meal in months. And so I spent the next 2 days scrolling, trying to figure out what I was going to eat. As soon as she put the signal in my head, I was on it.
It's funny. You make a good point because like I'm not a big spender, but I am one of those that go on prep and buy shit I don't need to buy. Like I bought my first prep, I bought a hot rod. Then
everybody should send you a wish list whenever you're on prep.
Yeah. My wife does it all the time. She's like, "Don't you think we need a new TV or a new air fryer?" And so I end up buying one because she knows I'm vulnerable.
When I was talking about shopping, I was talking about like grabbing a pair of like cool sweatpants or a T-shirt or a book or something, not like major appliances. And
no, Dave buys Mustangs.
Yeah, I know.
Dave's on a little higher level than some of us.
2 Mustangs, supercharged Mustangs. But what I was going to say is this year is weird. Like, I think since I used Reddit TrueTide, whatever that little mental tick I was looking for was getting filled by the Reddit True, because I'd made no big purchases. We redid our basement here, but that was kind of part of the plans anyhow.
I just realized I did buy a car while I was on prep. You're right, Dave. I didn't even think about it. I'm like, wait a minute, we did buy a car. It was a Mercedes too. We should not have done that.
I was on the Porsche website configuring my ideal Porsche that I wanted to get.
No. You want the Dodge Tomahawk. It's a motorcycle with a Viper engine on it.
So the Porsche thing, we can talk offline, Paul. Like my best friend, he's a plastic surgeon, so take that as you will, is a Porsche connoisseur of all things, let me know.
Are you too tall for a Porsche?
Oh, one of my buddies has a 911 Turbo, and he let me drive it, and I'm just like, after I drove it, I'm like, I couldn't get it off the brain.
They're amazing machines.
I'm like, I'm going to make a really stupid decision, financial decision.
No. You should buy the Porsche and then double your coaching price, and then like, sorry guys,
forget college fund for my kids. Let's just go fucking.
Call it a maintenance fee.
Carpe diem. Go for the Porsche.
There's something about being on prep though that I feel like allows you to kind of hyper focus on things. Like, so if I'm not buying stuff for myself, like my assistant needed new headphones, and I did this like super deep dive on like the most noise canceling, because like her office is a little echoey, and people would sometimes complain about the echo or the fans blowing. So I'm like, I'm on like what's that streaming platform? Like Twitch, with like asking like Twitch people, like, what's the best headset for a noisy environment? Like if you had to like game while you were on a subway, and and she has an awesome pair of headphones.
What a specific use case.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's
if
like,
you're gaming in the subway in New York City at 3 a.m.
Yeah. Like what are the best noise canceling headphones? Yeah.
There's a lot of helpful nerds out there.
Yeah.
We are a formidable force when we enter a restaurant.
Yes, we are.
I mean, we are going to enter a restaurant soon.
Arnold.
Last year at the Arnold, we literally shut down the all-you-can-eat Brazilian steakhouse.
The Fogo de Chao?
They had to. No, it wasn't Fogo. It was another one, and they actually had to close early because we ate all the meat.
Well, we had about 20
bodybuilders. Yeah,
20 bodybuilders
at least. Yeah,
that'll do
a lot of us.
That will do it.
Yeah, we had a huge group. Speaking of prep, did you guys see Hadi Chupin said he's going to do the Arnold now?
Yeah.
I hope so.
I'm looking forward to that. This being the first time I go to the Arnold, and the first time I'll see a lot of this. It's going to be amazing.
Is something else to see in person. Like it's like you don't get it until you see him up on stage, and you're like, oh, okay. Yeah, that guy doesn't look like the other ones.
Yeah. And even with the very little exposure I've had so far live, like I will tell you, bodybuilding live is a whole other dimension versus video, web, whatever. You see things that you just do not see in photography or in video. It's a whole other animal.
This is 8 weeks out. Now, whoever did this video turned the contrast way up on it. So it's like that adds about 4 weeks. But we know that he's in shape. He's always shredded. He's the most shredded guy in the open.
Do you guys have him as the front runner?
I don't know. I mean, it just depends. It's going to be you just don't know until they get out there.
He's got to be top 5. Yeah, not top 3.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I'd put him in the top 3. I don't know if
I would say Andrew's probably the front runner.
Yeah. I'm rooting for Andrew Jack regardless.
Yeah.
But I'm a big Nick Walker fan. I love Nick Walker. I'm a Nick fanboy. I'd love to see Nick win.
My heart's with Nick. My brain is with Hadi, honestly. But to each their own.
So go ahead.
I was just going to say, we were talking a lot about it the other day, Mike and Tanya and I, and we were kind of saying too, I mean, it's a big, like, what if with Andrew Jack, like if Andrew shows up on the trajectory he's been doing the past few shows, just tighter and more impressive, and he's already one that progresses so quickly. I mean, he could just hands down win that show, and then it's just who's competing for second.
Yeah, wasn't he third in Olympia this year?
Yeah, exactly. And some argued he could have been a little higher up, arguably for sure.
I think what'll keep him out of the first place position is the same thing that always does: his posing and the way he carries himself on stage. He straight up pissed the judges off at the Olympia.
Yeah. And I think those are the things that shine with the Hadis. Like, think of what you want with Nick Walker. He's a great presenter. Like, he's slow and he's right to the point. He does an excellent job.
Fantastic.
Hides his flaws well.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah.
Really good at hiding his flaws. I mean, he's got a wide waist, but he does a really good job of hiding it.
Yeah.
And Martin Fitzwater, the same thing. Like his stage presentation and his posing and the way he carries himself on the stage, I think that always helps his placings consistently. And you put him next to Andrew Jack with his stage presence. I don't know.
Who was it
I feel like
backstage that Martin told him to go fuck off? And he's like, well, I don't know why he said that.
it was, it was.
I think it was on stage.
It was to one of the, oh gosh, his name is escaping me. Not Ron Harris. Was it Ron Harris? I think it was.
No, it was one of his competitors.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yes, he's gotten, I think it was Ron Harris's face at the Prague show. But I think with Martin, like Mike, I disagree. I think one of Martin's biggest issues is he does kind of lose it. He loses his composure sometimes.
Mentally.
And I think that's one of the things that really is his downfall. Like if he keeps his composure, he's impeccable, but he can lose it really fast. Like he starts to sweat a lot. Yeah.
Seems like he burns hot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he can. You see it in him, and like a good example of that was last year with Chris Bumstead. Like when he thought he was losing to Chris, he kind of fell apart. But when he came back at finals, like he did much better. He also like partially tore his hamstring, I think, when he was posing against Chris at the prejudging. But it shows like he's not good at hiding his emotion. At least he has not historically been good at hiding his emotion.
Fair point,
How fucking tense do you have to be to tear your hamstring posing?
Yeah.
Or dehydrated.
Yeah, do both.
Yeah. Lots of wind.
That's pretty fucking grizzled, though. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Larry says people sleep on Martin. Andrew has yet to show he can be consistent with conditioning. And if Martin brings conditioning from Olympia, Prague, he can easily stand next to Hadi. Yeah, I agree. I mean, Martin. Yeah, true. True. That's very true.
It was Giles that Martin.
Yeah,
like
I know
pushed his cell phone. Yeah.
I think that was at the Prague show. They were like posing in the crowd, and he told him to screw off or say it to my face or something.
He was like, "What? I don't know why he said that to me." He's like, "Why did you do that?" Did you guys see Samson guest posing at almost 360 pounds?
Oh my gosh, yes. Next to a 212 guy.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, it made that 212 guy look fucking small.
Looks like a child.
212 guy.
Look at his arms. I mean, that is unbelievable.
His biceps are bigger than my waist.
At least he was courteous enough to keep his pants on and not embarrass him too much.
Yeah. True.
Watch this when they turn around. It's hilarious. He goes to try to do the side press, so he can't reach his.
Oh man!
Look at that! Oh my gosh!
That's pretty lean. You know, the thing guys don't realize he's probably 10-11% body fat right there.
Jeez, nuts.
Yeah. Well, so he obviously had a hell of a rebound from the Olympia.
Yeah.
When somebody does not have that mobility to get into the side tricep, what do you guys like to see them do instead? Because I have a client who has the same issue.
What he just did, where he pushed the arm down and do it like that.
Okay.
You know, like I see a lot of girls do that, like the women's physique competitors and stuff. But I mean, what else can you do?
Yeah.
Well, I know for myself, like if I let it go and I don't hit that pose, like because it's not comfortable. Like if I go a couple of weeks and not hit it or not put it in a check-in, I lose the capability of doing it. So I try to get people to continue to pose. You know, I don't see why even in the off season you're not posing a couple sessions a week. It doesn't have to be a lot. 10 minutes, 15 minutes after a training session. You know. Yeah. You know, I get them to work on it.
Usually when that water comes off and you're not a bloated D-ball and deca mess, when you get all that water retention, 20 units of GH, you can start, magic thing happens. You can actually reach your hand behind your back then.
Yeah.
A Dalton pose every day.
Dalton's right. I'm learning to do that like in between sets at the gym now lately. I'm starting to get into that habit.
Yeah, you already got the mind muscle connection already going. Already got the blood in there.
I would think do it before you start training. No.
Yeah.
No, I like doing it between sets. It's great for activation and just feeling the muscle and learning how to pose.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a local coach that's helping us with posing, and that's one of his tricks. Like he said, try it in between. You know, even if it's just a matter of consistency, just a couple poses here and there as you go through your workout. You're going to be working out 6 times a week. In my case, may as well just get that muscle memory where you like don't even have to look at the mirror. Eventually, I'm not there yet.
That's what I tell guys to do. I post between sets.
And then people think that we're just looking at ourselves in the mirror. Like, no, we're actually sport-specific training here.
No, I like looking at
What's
myself.
for vanity too? Come on.
I was gonna say that. That part, honestly, Tanya, that part was the hardest part for me to get over. The fact that there's people in the gym. It's a commercial gym, so there's a lot of people around there like, oh, look at this old guy. You know, it's like I gotta get past it. I gotta be, you know, this is for a purpose, like you said. It's not just to.
And there's plenty of skinny little kids that are 20 years old and weigh 100 pounds that are doing it in the mirror and don't deserve to. So, you know.
Gonzo's catching a good rebound right now.
I'm happy. I'm very, very happy with it. I'm as always, Paul. I'm scared of the excessive fat gain. You know me. You know my background. You know where I'm coming from. But so far so good.
Well, if I can give you one thing I point out, because I hear that from people too, because it's a weird mental transition from prep to this rebound, especially when you're pushing aggressively. But you know, the reality is this is why we have still weekly check-ins. This is why we're still communicating, because in a week's time you're not going to get so fat you can't fix it, and you're not going to make so many gains where, you know, you're missing out on feedback, you know, for percentage points. So the fact that, I mean, as long as you're still checking in, you're being diligent 1 week at a time, you'll catch it before.
Yeah, the weekly check-in definitely keeps me sane. Like I had a couple of weeks ago, Paul gave me that reality check, and it was like, wow, that puts everything in, because there's the tactical perspective and the strategic perspective, right? You know, so this keeps it tactical, where it's like week by week by week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where I showed you the before you started to now.
Yeah, and I'm even bigger now than that, you know. So we're getting somewhere. Like I'm getting finally the whole like. I've always considered it a badge of honor when strangers come up and go like, "Bro, what are you doing?"
There we are now.
Primo and test, baby. Primo and test.
There you go.
Yeah, that was a couple of days ago, right there.
Yeah, right.
Nice.
Yeah, you completely transformed. Actually, you get the process now. It's like I try to tell people, like people don't want to believe me when I say this, but I'm just like, get fucking shredded. Just get absolutely shredded, and then you have so much more runway to grow. Your body's so much more responsive. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The whole perma-bulk thing just doesn't fucking work.
And you actually find out how much muscle you have and don't have.
Oh yeah, Gonzo was surprised, right?
Yeah.
You thought you were lean, right? And you lost 40 pounds.
I lost almost 40. Yeah, I think it was 40 by the time I hit stage weight. You know, that very morning when I was the driest, my arms looked like these little T-Rex sticks.
I think you were like, I think I'm like 12%. I'll be like 185, 190 on stage. I'm like, oh, I don't know about that. We'll see.
Somehow every dude thinks they're 10 to 12% body fat.
Yeah, we always do. It's like our default setting.
I don't think that. Not ever.
Dave coaches my boss, and my boss was in my office the other day. He's like, I just don't know if I could ever compete. He's like, I just think like I'd have to lose like 10 or 15 more pounds to get on stage. And I was like, like 30.
Take that number and then double it, and then you're close.
You know, funny thing is, like, honestly, when and my wife had this opinion, she's like, I actually like you at 11, 12%, the overall look versus the 5-6%, you know, where she's like, I can appreciate what you did, you know, the effort and all that, but from an overall aesthetic look, it's like, you know, it looks more healthy, more balanced, I guess. It's an argument to be made there, you know, or you can just pop some Anadrol and see what happens.
Or both.
Or both. Yeah, why not?
You know, wait till you get people telling you, you know, when you're at like the peak of your bulk and you're looking pretty good, to ask you like, you know, are you getting ready for a show soon? And it's like, I'm right at the peak of my grow. It's like, now I know everything's coming along real well. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't, I try to work whether people are competitors or not. Like I get guests come to me like, oh, I'm not a competitor. I just want to grow some muscle. And I'm like, dude, it doesn't matter. Just get fucking lean. It's even more important for you because the competitors are probably leaner than you are, you know, at their peak off season. What you think is lean, they're already leaner than you. I mean, if you get down to, you don't have to get down to stage lean, but if you get down to like 7-8% body fat, get down into single digits, you have so much runway to grow.
Yeah.
You know, like or even like, you get down to 6. I mean, you can add 5%, 6% body fat while you're in your growth phase and still be 12% body fat. I mean, that's such an advantage.
Yeah, it is. And then you don't have to waste time with mini cuts or stabilization stuff or whatever. You just keep growing,
Mm-hmm. Well, even as we talk about that insulin sensitivity too, I mean, it goes hand in hand, not just being lean, but giving yourself more runway to be receptive to the strategy of soaking in all the nutrients and, so that's important as well.
Well, there's just all these counter-regulatory mechanisms that happen as you're in a surplus for a long time. Myostatin gets high, your insulin resistance declines, gastric emptying gets fucked up. There's all these things that happen. And if you just take the time to reset, and it seems like I don't know what the physiological explanation for it, but there does seem to be a window of supercompensation that happens post-show. You have this like 8 to 12 week window where if you just can keep your shit together, the bro term for it, we call it the rebound, but it really is a real thing if you can keep your shit together. But most people fuck it up.
Mm-hmm. It is kind of crazy though. I mean, I've experienced that with this reverse. I mean, I was eating so much going into my show, and then we were like increasing calories after my show for like the first 8 weeks, and my weight was really stable. But then all of a sudden, like it just started to like shoot up, and now we're bringing calories down, and the weight is still going up. So it's like it's that point I feel like where it kind of needed to happen. But like you said, Paul, like you have this window of like, oh my gosh, like you can really push it if you're not afraid. And if you stick with it, I wasn't eating off plan, but I was eating a lot, but it has like the glory days have come to an end.
Yeah. You got about eventually. You got about 8 to 12 weeks. And then it starts to turn the other direction.
Yeah. That's exactly what has happened.
And with the bros, usually what I'll do is I'll keep them on a smaller cycle. We'll remove out all the toxic stuff like Tren orals, taper off the fat burners, and we'll leave some test and whatever anabolic they prefer in. And then when we hit that, when things start to turn sideways, we'll pull the food back a little bit and go on a cruise and get healthy and get ready for an off season.
Can I ask you one quick question, Paul? It's on the topic there, though, of the rebound. How do you look at strength gains with guys? I mean, because it's weird, right? Like you come off the show, food comes back in, strength just starts to skyrocket at a rate that is not going to last forever. So you're trying to balance like quality training, not getting injured, but still getting strong. Like, how do you balance that line? I mean, I go a lot off of like recovery with people. Like I'm okay with how strong they get as long as we're recovering well. We're not just driving ourselves into a hole, checking form with video. What's your kind of strategies? Because it's a weird scenario. You see guys all of us get strong, and it's a little scary.
A lot of that's just leverage. I mean, you just have the additional water, and you're going to have more. What is it? Hydraulic. I mean, it's just pressure, hydraulic pressure. So you're just going to have more leverage. Also, glycogen. I mean, you're going to have more gas in the tank to push things. It depends on the age of the person. Like older guys, I really tell them to be careful because I've seen guys get themselves hurt, have tendon and muscle tears post show in that window. Younger guys, I think I'm a little more free and loose with the progression. Like like with myself, I'll kind of hold back a little bit with the strength because it'll fly up too quick. I've been really careful coming back from my surgery because I just put a little bit of anabolics in and start eating halfway like a bodybuilder again, and my strength's been flying up. But I don't want to re-injure myself, so I've just been kind of pacing myself and incrementally increasing the weights. But I think it depends on the age of the person. You also, like you said, you got to be careful with form. But like young guys, they're probably not going to get hurt. I just, if you're under 35, just go at it. If you're an older dude, then I tell them probably be a little more cautious with the training in that window. Yeah. And just progressively increase, if you can go up 5 pounds each week on something, like don't make these big jumps. I think it's when you make the big jumps is where you get yourself, and your muscles might be able to handle it, but your joint and connective tissue or even your CNS may not be ready for it.
I was just going to say that with the CNS, I feel like that takes longer to come back after a deep deep cut.
Yeah, even if you eat and rest, you know, it does feel like it does take a while for sure.
Yeah, the Tren twins, Mike tore his pec trying to bench 500 pounds weeks after their show. Yeah, well, that's not fucking smart.
Yeah. And that's called natural selection.
Yeah.
Touche.
If you call yourself the Tren twins, there's a
wait. Titania, how much do you bench?
I don't bench because I'm a bodybuilder.
Yes.
Darwinism at its finest.
But I do love bench the 55s for high reps. So
I love when I'm in shape and my you know, I go to school events with my son or whatever, and all the teenage boys are asking me how much I bench.
Yeah.
Just say your mom.
You know, one little trick I try to do that I found has kind of worked for me with a lot of people across the board is not changing their training immediately after the show. We'll kind of rebound from what we were doing for kind of basic straight set training from the show, maybe 6 weeks, 8 weeks. That's when we start putting in different volumes and frequencies for picking up, lagging body parts or improvements.
That's a good idea.
Try to walk out the same way we walked in.
What they were already doing.
Yeah, because you switch a movement pattern and you're just overly strong and you're, dried out still. That doesn't sound right to me. So try to walk in the way we walked out.
I can't imagine trying to bench 500 pounds a week or two after. Oof. That's some shit you do when you're 20-something years old. That's
correct.
And
correct. They are 20-something-year-olds.
Yeah.
And a lot of Tren in the brain. There is that.
Yeah, Trent. Yeah, a pec tear is the equivalent of just completely blowing out your leg playing football for bodybuilders. A pec tear, your physique is forever ruined. Doesn't matter. And my doctor told me, because after I had my shoulder surgery, he told me that I had some scar tissue on my orthopedic on my left pec up near the top. He said it's at risk of a tear. He said just be careful, because he said it's in the middle of the pec. He goes, if you rip it there, he goes, I can't fix it. He said if you tear your pec, you're better off just ripping it off at the insertion. That I can fix.
Absolutely. Yeah.
He said if you tear it in the middle, you're screwed. And I'm like, good to note. So try to be really fucking careful.
Yeah.
With that stuff, but I can't express this enough. Like I tell dudes all the time, as you progress, like I do think progressive overload is when you're a beginner and intermediate in training is very important. But as you get into the advanced level of training, like you're on the cusp of having a pro card or you are a pro, you want to protect your career. And be really cautious. I mean, so like for example, like a guy like Nick Walker, I'm sure he could probably incline 405, no problem. But is that worth the risk?
Yeah.
I mean, where are you going to progress that? You're going to progress that up to inclining 495. Eventually, something's going to give. You're going to pop something.
Yeah.
So it's at that point you have to think about sustaining your career, having a sustainable way to train, or think about your post retirement training. You guys will see it when we are at the Arnold. You'll see some of the older bodybuilders, guys that are my age in their 50s, and some of them are absolute fucking cripples.
Right. Yeah.
Like some of the guys that were my heroes when I was younger, and you see them in person, you're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Just went at it too hard for too long, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
look at a guy like Milos. He looks amazing. He's in his 60s.
But he never trained super heavy. He always was a volume guy.
Yeah, and it shows. Like he's maintained an amazing physique, pretty much injury free.
Yeah. I mean, Jay Cutler was always a volume guy.
He's still big.
Dexter high volume mainly. You never really
the
saw
guy that
Dexter
competed until he was 50. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I think when you're younger, like you're a beginner, and I need to make a video about this, but I've been really thinking a lot about this lately. I think there are certain types of training that you need to do at certain inflection points in your journey. Like if you're a beginner, to intermediate, you need to you do need to master your form to a certain degree. But I'd say, like, early on, I did a lot of progressive overload, and I think that was probably great for me to build a base. But then you get to a certain point, then it's like, all right, I need to put that in the rearview mirror and train a little differently, train a little more intelligently. Not to say that progressive overload isn't intelligent, but if you're a young guy, I mean, so for example, if you are using bench presses and you're using 135 pounds, and you work for 8 reps and you work your way up to 225 for 8 reps, and that form is maintained, you're probably going to be bigger. But there is an upper limit of that. That does have an expiration date eventually. There's only so far you can progress that. So I think probably for a beginner to intermediate lifter, it probably is important to just progress and get stronger. And then you'll hit a certain point where you need to start specializing and have some specialization in your training and start thinking about bringing up lagging body parts and really getting into the kung fu of lifting. Like, one of the things I really I need to get her on again sometime, but Dr. Daniela Martina really helped me like identify like some deficiencies in my training form. Like, I was having a hard time progressing my back, and I was just lifting too heavy, and my form sucked. I wasn't activating the areas I was trying to target because my form, I just had, music. There's this thing that said it's not the practice makes perfect. It's perfect practice makes perfect. And I had been practicing imperfect form for decades and progressed in perfect form, and therefore made no progress.
Yeah.
So I was like doing rows essentially with my traps. And I see this a lot. I was just working out with a friend of mine the other day, trying to help him fix his back training. And there are some body parts that are more nuanced and more challenging for some people than others. But I was, I like to observe other people train when I'm at the gym and watch other people train. And I was watching people train back, and it's amazing how many people, when they row, there is literally no activation in their back. It's all just an arm movement or traps.
Just moving your arms. Yeah.
Yeah.
At what point did you figure that out, Paul? I mean, what point in your career did you figure out that mind-muscle connection to your back?
I'm a 40s.
Yeah,
way late.
40
after like 20 years of lifting.
But your traps look incredible, right? That was,
Yeah. I think John Rivas is seriously the best example of strength and aesthetics not matching, because when he was at his strongest, his aesthetics were not what they are now. No, his aesthetics now are fantastic, when he's not powerlifting.
Yeah, Days is correct here. He's like, specialization can also be a problem. I see a lot of people at the gym doing Eric Janicki type exercises when they have no foundation. Yeah, absolutely. You don't want to try to do the advanced level shit when you have no foundation. That is because it's not going to do anything for you.
And a lot of that, it's like you're not even advanced enough to have the mind muscle connection to even explore that. Like, if you can't even feel what's working yet because you don't even have that connection, what are you doing?
Yeah. It's I really, really have tried to tear apart training and think about more about training, especially after my shoulder injury, and having some introspection and reflection on what caused my shoulder injury, and long, it's just long-term wear and tear just from doing shit incorrectly. Probably a lot of it when I was younger.
Yeah.
And then it just, my orthopedic surgeon said that most injuries, unless you have somebody fall into you or something, aren't acute. They're from chronic wear and tear, and then eventually something gives. That's what he was saying. He was saying that most tendon tears are tendonitis that turns into tendinosis, then turns into tendon ruptures. It's not like you just, unless somebody, like your football player and somebody fucking bangs into the side of your knee, then that's, that's a traumatic injury. But like, if you're years and years of bench pressing and then finally your pec just gives out, it's the wear and tear that eventually caught up with you, unless your form sucked or something, you just had a weird handoff or some weird shit like that. But so you have to think about that.
Well, I can say Jackie, actually, I wish she was here to comment on it, but that's something she actually preached all the time. She would never specialize in some of the things for her figure division. When she found out down the road that's what she wanted to focus on was figure, but she knew it starting at 98 pounds. She had a long period of time of just building a foundation. And that's exactly what she did. She didn't stray towards quad sweep, big shoulders. That all came later on. And I think you actually save time, you know, in the long run.
Yeah, I think it makes the most sense to use weight as the primary thing that you're progressing at first, because that's the biggest deficit that you have. That's the thing that's going to come the most. And then later, when that's no longer the biggest deficit and you're no longer getting your newbie gains, now you're going to get bigger progressions from improving your form, from adding more reps, from slowing it down, from getting better mind-muscle connection. Those pretty, you know, after a few years become your primary method of your progressive overload. And that's what needs to come first. And then the extra load is going to come as a consequence of getting better at that.
Yeah. It's also when you're a beginner and there's so many things that you're considering, keeping it simple by measuring the logbook and the weight is just a very simple, very objective measure, especially when you're starting, you know, before you start going like, well, let me slow the tempo. Let me, you know.
Yeah, and it's the best way you really even know to progress. Like, you don't really know what a better mind-muscle connection feels like, or what tempo is supposed to feel like, or any of these other things. You really only know, oh, I'm getting stronger. So just like play into that for as long as that's the thing that you know.
Yeah. And when you're early on, like I said, it's so easy to record, and then you actually have at least an initial base of data to start going like, oh, okay, so I am progressing in this. Oh, look, this thing, I'm getting stuck here. What needs to happen? You know, and then you can hopefully learn, you know, find a coach, learn from other people.
So for beginners, everybody would say have a plan and then go to the gym and execute the plan, and make sure you have a logbook of some sort.
Logbook is like crucial when you start, you know.
I mean, log everything still. I track everything. I don't see a reason not to, honestly. Like, I don't remember what I did for all 4 sets of my lateral raises last week, or my
Like that's isn't that the saying, like, you know, if you don't actually
you can't manage what you don't measure.
I don't record them. I mean, if you're that advanced where you can just start recording stuff, go ahead and do that. Why not?
Yeah. And especially in today's world, I mean, worst comes to worst, you can buy a notebook for 99 cents, but everybody's got a smartphone or a device. It's so easy. It's so easy. There's no excuse to not do it.
I just put mine directly into my spreadsheet that I'm sending my coach anyway.
Same.
As I'm working out.
I see so many people though, I see guys that have been training for years in the gym, and I just like observationally watching them. And they continue to do the same wrong shit over and over and over and over again, and they never make it past that, I would say, late stage beginner, early stage intermediate phase.
Well, right? As long as they're working hard, they must be doing it, right?
Yeah, I mean, there is you have to have some sort of plan of attack. All right, we want to grab some questions.
Yeah, is the outside the gym stuff too. And yes, we do have questions, but like, you might be doing all the right things in the gym, but if are you sleeping? Are you actually eating? And I think that's a big thing of the people that you see spinning their wheels in the gym is they never eat.
Yeah, it's like the only time they think about anything that they're doing as far as fitness or nutrition is that hour when they're in the gym, and they forget about it all the other 23 hours of the day.
Well, it goes right back to that tracking. You know, if you can track it, why not? You know, that was the best learning tool I ever had in nutrition. Ever was when I first did my Fitness Pal when I was younger, and just seeing it in front of me, seeing what's going on.
It's pretty eye-opening.
Yeah.
When I get guys that have never done a diet before, a lot of times I'll just tell them to get a macro app, whatever one they like, and just start logging all their food. And that alone, a lot of times, will clean shit up.
It will.
I steer them right towards Chronometer. I don't even like my Fitness Pal.
What was that?
I said I steer him towards Chronometer. I don't like my Fitness Pal because anybody can enter anything on my Fitness Pal and it becomes a listing. It doesn't even have to be verified. Chronometer verifies all their listings.
Yeah, I use Chronometer. That's what I use too.
Awesome.
All right, what do we got for questions?
All right, questions. Our first one is from Dalton Miller. Running all the Mito fat loss stuff for prep, SLU, MOTS-c, Mirabegron, methylene blue, want to run it all separately, then potentially combine. Is there any order you would recommend I start with?
I don't see a GLP-1 in there.
No.
I would start with that.
Yeah.
I'd consider maybe thinking about rotating them too. Like if you don't, I don't always see at first I used to stack a lot of these when I was experimenting with them, but I just found if you can get the best use out of SLU, let's say 6-8 weeks, whatever, and then you're escalating doses to get a response that's just a little unjustified, high dose, switch over to the MOTS-c, and then repair things with SS31. Then run that a few times. You can always go up in dosage. You can stack a little SLU. But yeah, I like plugging them that way.
Guys that have done prep with me, I usually start people with nothing. We'll see if we can get some cheap fat loss without using any fat burners.
Yeah.
And then when we get stuck, then we'll start layering stuff in.
Yeah. All right. So does anybody have a layer it in order? I mean, do they say start with one or just one specific?
Now I've been starting with a GLP-1.
Yeah, of course. But among those, does anybody have an order? I know Dave does some of these. I don't. So I don't.
Well, SS31 is a good place to start because it actually has more propensity to repair mitochondria than just support its performance.
Okay.
Yeah, either that or last. So like you do your oxidative damage to your mitochondria, and the SS31 will help repair that process too. So you'll get more bang out of your buck for the SLU the second go around.
The SS31 will set up a nice stage, right, for the other things to then be able to be more optimized, I guess, or give you optimized results. At least that worked out for me. SS31, and then let's see, SLU. Well, SLU I've been running since forever. I don't know. It seems to work really well. Like I do it off season. I do it, contest prep. SLU just works.
Which one of these is oral? Is any of these oral?
SLU is oral, the one I take.
Okay.
So
makes it very easy.
Start with the 31 if he's got it, and then go to SLU, and then he wants to start injecting more stuff.
Yeah. I've never tried MOTS-c. Have you guys had a good experience with MOTS-c? Like practical first-person experience?
Yeah. I mean,
it's going to work well with my clients. I've not tried it myself.
Okay.
I feel it's one of those things where they really work. They do seem to work better in combination. Like SLU works good on its own, but I think SLU with MOTS-c is just a little bit better. Backing up to what you said, Gonzo, about using it in the off season, I dropped it out of my off season MOTS-c after once you understand its relationship with AMPK and triggering AMPK and how that's going to impair or switch off mTOR. Which is something needed for muscle protein synthesis. So you want to be careful about when you take it or if you take it at all. So I stayed on MOTS-c for some mitochondrial support. I dropped the SLU and I took MOTS-c at night.
Okay. And this was doing your contest prep or?
No, this is my progress phase, my off season.
Okay, progress. Interesting. Yeah. Okay. I'll keep that in mind for sure.
Yeah. Contest prep, just pour it all in.
Yeah, throw everything in there.
Yeah, I do get concerned with the fat burning peptides and mitochondrial enhancers in an off-season setting if you're healthy because of the effects that it has on lowering mTOR and increasing AMPK. That's not conducive to growing muscle.
Yeah.
Now, but if you are metabolically dysfunction, that's also not great for growing muscle either. But you coming out of a contest prep, your metabolic function should be great. Right.
So or your mitochondrial function.
Yeah. All right. What do we got next?
Next one is from Mike Geary. He says, "Hey, Paul, are you still doing the mentorship with AJ? And how was it?"
I did it for about 8 months last year. It was fantastic. I learned a lot from AJ. I ran him through my entire contest prep season. I wanted to really kind of learn his methodology for contest prep because I think there's really nobody that's, in my opinion, that gets people in better shape than AJ does. I mean, Justin does a great job, not to take anything away from Justin, but I feel like I already have a PhD on Justin's methodology since I've been with him as a client for 6-7 years now.
He's your Yoda.
Yeah, I feel like I know Justin's methodology pretty much.
He's a good
Yoda. He is a good Yoda. Justin's a very smart guy. But yeah, I wanted to learn from AJ. And I will say this is a very different approach than Justin. AJ is sort of prep Rain Man. He can just look at a picture and make a change. Justin's very more analytical, science-based, which operates well with my way of thinking. But I definitely it was kind of interesting working with AJ. Like I was expecting And it was good for me. It challenged me to learn new things and new ways to look at stuff. Like AJ, I'd be like, what are we doing with the diet? What are we doing with the protocol? And AJ would be like, look at the pictures, man. What do the pictures tell you? What do you see? He was like constantly asking me, what do you see in the pictures? What do you see in the pictures? How's he looking from this check-in to the last check-in? Even like on the peak week, like from hour to, like when we were doing multiple throughout the days, like, what do you see? See from last picture to this picture. And I really taught me to pay closer attention to see how people are, like the more nuanced stuff that's less, more observational, I guess. And really focus on that. Also, like he, some things that Justin doesn't really pay attention to, like digestion, really paying attention to that, rest and recovery, like how people are doing with their rest and recovery, how performances in the gym, all these little nuanced things that I think add up at the end of a prep. Definitely was stuff that I learned a lot from him. He's a very high quality human being. I can't say enough about him and his character. He's one of the kindest. He's just a good dude. I don't know a better way to put it. Guys, I'm not a super religious person. I know AJ's very religious, but there are a lot of people that talk the talk but do not walk the walk. He definitely walks the walk. He's a man of his word and just a very high quality person. I think Tommy did the mentorship too. I know Amy's working with Tommy.
Oh, he's Tommy's coach. That's who's Tommy's coach is.
Yeah, and I think Tommy has probably taken his. The thing that blew me away with him, it didn't matter when I fucking texted that dude. He must have his phone glued to him 24/7, and he would respond immediately. And I'm like, hey man, you don't have to get back to me right away. I mean, like do your family, do your things. Like this is just a stupid question. You can get back to me tomorrow. That's cool. Like I'm definitely not doing that with people. But I'm like, how the fuck is he doing that? The guy must just work all day long.
Yeah.
So long story short, money well spent. I learned a lot. I always try to invest. I think this is a lesson that I could give to people. A lot of people try to chance out on great mentorship, and this is something that I learned in business a long time ago. I had some really good mentors when I was young, and I took the time to invest in myself in growing skill set. If you want to be the best, you go and learn from the best people. You go and learn from like legit best people, not the people that pretend to be the best. There are some fakers out there. There are some people out there that are all just talking. But yeah, I would, that money is money well spent. Like I get guys like sometimes it'll get shitty with me. I had a guy last week that sent me an email. He couldn't believe what I was charging for coaching and what a waste of money. All my information's out there for free. And I'm like, bro, like, you're not even my client and you're making that assessment. I'm going to take a wild guess that you're a fucking loser.
I mean, first of all, if they're assuming that information is coaching. Yeah,
it's a completely different thing. And I put it all out there for free for a reason. I'm like to try to help people, and that's the thing that I've always tried to you share your knowledge for free, but if somebody wants your time, that you have to pay for.
100%.
Yeah, that's that. It's not like anything's revolutionary, but I can't stress that enough. If you want to be successful, you have to learn from successful people that are go to the best. Just like trying to save money and cut corners and learn from somebody that's like 3/4 of the way there is not the way to do it. I've always tried to learn from the best people, and it really helped me with business. I was lucky to have really good mentors when I was younger, especially in business. Anyway,
everybody's got a mentor or an advisor or a coach of some sort. All the most successful people do.
A senpai, a Yoda.
Mm-hmm.
I've had many.
Sorry, Paul. One bit of advice I always give people on coaching is spend way more than you're comfortable in spending, because you're that much more likely to do everything they tell you to do.
Mm-hmm. Good point.
I mean, you look at even billionaires, like it's funny, most billionaires go to, Warren Buffett seems to be the guy that most billionaires lean on for advice and information. He's a very grounded person. Love him or hate him, Tony Robbins is a guy that a lot of very wealthy people lean on.
True.
He's a little woo-woo sometimes, but a lot of what he says does have value. I just always invest in yourself, always invest in improving yourself, and don't be afraid to do it. Anytime I've done it, I've always come out better. Investing in learning is never a bad thing.
Amen.
All right, what do we got up next?
Next one is from Steve Taylor. How do you deal with puffy nipples on Tren? Using 100 milligrams a week, started 300 milligrams P5P and seems to be helping some. Anything else I can try besides Caber? Don't do Caber. Only 200 milligrams test besides the Tren.
Don't take Tren.
Yeah.
I know Josh doesn't like that answer.
I mean, it's the wrong answer. It's the opposite of the truth. But no, whenever I have that situation, I check to see if it's water. And then I also check with, I also drop an AI on.
Yeah, I would be like, are your nipples actually sore, or are you just getting, you just got some fat around or soft tissue around there? I mean, it definitely Tren can cause gyno. I never had anything that would light gyno up on me faster than a 19 nor Tren or Deca. And it's usually an estrogen problem. Usually, and I've talked about this ad nauseum, but with 19 nors, when estrogen is high, it basically amplifies the progestinic effect, which is going to have a lowering of dopamine, which is going to cause an downstream increase in prolactin, and then you end up with all these fucking issues. I've actually seen guys lactate from, they can squeeze juice from their nipples. That can happen.
You're the only fans for that, probably.
Probably. So there probably is an estrogen issue.
Tren doesn't directly aromatase, correct?
Correct.
No, it doesn't aromatize.
There's a theory that it goes progesterone into activates the estrogen receptor, and whatever estrogen is sitting around comes in. The thing about adding Tren is if it is more stronger on your whatever's, it's going to knock testosterone off, which might then aromatize as well. So whenever I had this problem, I would add an AI. Parabolic had DHT cream and Dractin or something like that. So
it was rhetorical.
Tanya.
That's my client.
Cool.
It was rhetorical to lead into what Paul was saying about if you have a high estrogen already, the effects on progesterone. So if you are if you are taking other compounds that are aromatizing at a higher rate, you're way more likely to have those side effects from trenbolone. Correct?
Yeah, the testosterone and aromatization is just going to make it worse. And some people are just super sensitive to 19 nors. I am like I just don't tolerate them well.
Nandrolone bloats me up immediately. Can't take it at all.
God damn, it makes me big. Fucking hell. I turn into I get huge.
Killer tomato? Like what do you turn into? Like how big?
I bet you if I ran a gram test 400 or 500 milligrams of Deca right now, and 30 to 50 milligrams of D-ball in a day, I'd be 300 pounds in 3 weeks.
Heart failure.
You and Samson.
Yeah.
Oh,
my blood pressure would probably be 180 over 110.
It wouldn't be a very sustainable 300 pounds. It would be a short-term thing.
It'd be one of those ones where you get the fucking calf pumps where you can't even walk upstairs. I remember one time. I remember post show one time. I took a trip with my partner to Asheville. And anybody that's been to Asheville is very, very hilly. And I ran test and MPP post show to put on my Rebound. I remember she wanted to walk everywhere, and I was walking up these hills, and I had to stop every 5 minutes. She's like, man, you're out of shape. And I'm like, no, it's not. I'm not out of shape. My fucking calves are screaming. They're so pumped I can't even walk.
Yeah, it's like sounds like it's running on Anadrol. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
I mean, you can't just go get tested. I mean, it's so cheap and available now. If go check your estrogen, prolactin, and also see if you got to get if you use marijuana or kratom in check. That we've come to find those can elevate prolactin. Or
he's taking a lot of P5P. 300 is a whole bunch. Most people take 100 every other day or 50 a day.
I'd quickly just get it checked, and just so I know what you're looking at.
Yep.
Yeah, it's true. Absolutely.
Plain and simple.
All right, what's up next?
Next one is a good one for today from Christo. What's a bodybuilder friendly Super Bowl snack?
Doritos.
I actually think there's a lot. Yeah, there's all the veggie trays, like chicken tenders, like non-fried ones, but like anything grilled meats,
baked chicken wings, instead of fried, air fried, maybe.
Air fry your wings,
yeah.
Stay away from the chips, cheese, and anything fried.
First of all, why? Hello. I mean, Super Bowl's important.
Just have some good snacks.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, one day it's not going to derail everything.
All you can eat Pop-Tarts, whatever you want.
Pop-Tarts.
I've got some. I got some wraps. Those like 2 net carb mission wraps. And I'm gonna do. I got some filet, so I'm just gonna slice the filet real thin and just do like street corn taco.
Yeah, I call them Irrelax wraps.
Pretty good, Dave.
Because you're gonna have 2 or 3 of them.
So I'm gonna do some steak tacos. Is gonna be one of my meals.
I gotta say,
Miralax
tacos
wraps.
is not a bad way.
I mean, that's what it is.
Tacos is not a bad way to get your fiber in.
Nope. My bro thing is like, I'm just gonna eat my shit meal if I got a shit meal coming up. But what I do is just starve myself the rest of the day.
Yeah,
and then go all in. I'll either fast or go protein only.
I was say if you have some liraglutide, just shoot that tomorrow, and then you don't eat the next day. You're good to go, right?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. You balance it out one way or another.
Throw some Olestra in there and a couple trips to the toilet. You're golden.
The Olestra.
That's about Ali now, right? Ali, and then was it a gram of metformin, and then
yeah, berberine. Throw some berberine at it. I don't know.
I remember the Olestra potato chips.
Oh yeah, no. What is the diet drug? Orlistat, right?
Orlistat, yeah.
That's what I meant to say.
It's over the counter.
Yes, Steve has got his protocol. You have to look at Steve. If you ever go out to dinner,
those,
with
I'm
Steve,
sure you take 10 of those, you block like 90 grams of fat out of your diet. I mean, how many calories that is?
You ever go out to dinner with Steve? He's got his fanny pack with you. He'll give you an Orlistat and some metformin before you eat your dinner.
Imagine he's got like some breath mints too, so you get your Orlistat, your metformin, and a breath mint for after.
Does he have like mega straws so we can increase appetites? He got some MK in there. Here you go, guys. Let's roll.
Pretty sure anything you want is in that fanny pack.
Yeah, Steve has like the Felix the Cat level bag of like drugs.
The bag of magic beans.
So our answer is multifactorial. Then there's many ways you can attack this. You can be okay with just snacking and just snack. All right. You can attack it with berberine, metformin, etc. You can do the fast throughout the day and then just go all out. You got options.
Oh, let me give one more quick recipe that's fun. So you can do like, do you guys ever do the pancake batter out of just like egg whites and protein powder?
I use casein and whey when I do that, and then 3 eggs.
Okay. Yeah, so like make like a batter for your protein pancake, and just get like a little casserole dish. And what I'll do is I'll chop up an apple into cubes and I air fry it so they're like crispy and a little softened and caramelized. Put some cinnamon, and I put that in the casserole dish and pour the pancake mix over it so it just blends in. And you're kind of making like so you just bake it till it's gone. Yeah, and it's like an apple turnover kind of pancakey. I don't know. It's kind of a good dessert, but it's basically protein and a touch of carbs with the apple, of course.
I bet if you mixed a little bit of pumpkin puree into that batter, that would be really good.
Yes, it would. Or Greek yogurt. I mean, just pretty much anything.
Yeah,
I'll probably try that because I do have some.
Oh, everybody's got pumpkin puree if you've ever been on a diet. It's delicious.
I'm going to try that today.
Cans of pumpkin puree right now.
Yes, I have 3 in my cabinet. That's like one of the few things I keep in my house. It's like always.
Yeah.
John Jewett does a lot of that. He likes the pumpkin puree. I see that a lot.
I mean, you could dump cinnamon on it, and there's no more extra calories. It's even better for you.
It's not on the anabolic bodybuilding approved foods list from my coach. So
not yet. Let him try.
You saw what I eat, you'd be horrified. I've been doing pretty good lately. I've been having. See, I think I had 2 cheats this week. So
yeah, how is the shoulder holding up? You getting pretty strong?
Shoulder feels great.
Yeah,
it's definitely getting stronger. I've just been trying to be better with my diet.
Hey, look, chicken on your pizza instead of all those greasy meats is fairly healthy.
I haven't had pizza in probably 3 or 4 weeks.
All right.
Have you guys ever been to Your Pie?
I've never heard of it.
Yes.
It's really good. Yeah. It's like when you go to Chipotle or Subway where you like tell them all the ingredients and they assemble it in front of you.
Oh, that's cool.
You can customize your whole like personal pizza. It's like a medium-sized little personal pizza. Mm-hmm. And they have like a nutrition calculator on their website where you can like see what it is for the different ingredients and everything. I can make a whole like personal pizza to myself for like 500 calories and 40 grams of protein and not a ton of fat with like chicken, feta cheese, spinach, tomatoes, mushrooms, and stuff on it. It's really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have Mod Pizza here, which is similar. They do the same thing.
Yeah, we have those too, Mod, on the West Coast.
I know I did last week. My wife got me the Pizza Hut thin crust with extra chicken on it. It was really good, medium size, hit the pizza need, and it was maybe 500-600 calories for the whole thing. It was great. It was great. So there's your mainstream, easy to find, solution to that.
All right, what do we got next here?
Next one is from It's Mike Fitz. What does persistently low level IGF-BP3 alongside low normal IGF-1 point to in advanced trainees, and how do you typically address it, or is it something to be concerned about?
Well, it means you're not going to get cancer, likely. Probably a low carbohydrate diet would be my guess.
Low carbohydrate diet, not taking HGH. Type 1 diabetes is a possibility.
Low estrogen.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about that before. Low, trying to convert IGF with a low carb diet's, nearly impossible, if not difficult.
Well, one thing you can take.
Right. Yeah, so that's one thing to pay attention to. If I'm going to sound like an idiot for asking this, but if there's lower binding proteins in lower IGF, could it just be possible that there's more IGF in the muscle cell and not so much present in the serum, the blood serum?
I don't know how the physiology of that would work.
Pituitary.
IGF-1 binding protein 3 is a counter-regulatory mechanism, right? So it's going to rise when IGF-1 increases, correct?
It should.
Yeah, so that would be what I would assume. So that's why, like, when you guys see these high IGF-1 levels, but then IGF-1 binding protein is high as well. It's your body's way of keeping you from fucking dying of cancer from the IGF-1. It binds up that IGF-1 and makes it unusable. But this is all metabolized in the liver. It could be something going on with the liver too, but more than likely, usually when you see low IGF-1, it's dudes on low carb diets, almost always.
He is a type 1 diabetic.
Added that in, as you guys noted. Yep.
Yeah, I would guess pituitary failure to make GH. But if you're type 1 diabetic, you generally don't want to take GH anyway. All the guys I've seen do it, they can't do more than like 3 units. They're just like replacement level because it just screws up their stuff, their glucose levels. So it's hamburger one's growth pathways, I would guess.
It's possible you have fatty liver disease if your carbohydrates are high. Mike Fitz is a type 1 diabetic.
Yeah. Like if you're type 1 and you're not controlled, then like your GH just blows out of the water. So I was wondering if maybe he didn't get controlled early enough and maybe his pituitary just stopped making GH.
I've definitely noticed now, like my tolerance, because my diabetes has progressed more, that my tolerance for GH is going down the toilet. Like I don't even know if I can run it anymore.
Oh wow.
But, yeah, I'll take GH and my fucking glucose levels are just blown through the roof the whole next day.
Well, Mike, for being a type 1 diabetic, has an incredible physique.
Well, he knows what he's doing.
Well, did you try the different administration tactics though? Did you go to like every other day?
Yeah, I've been doing every other day, and it's what'll happen is it's high the next day, and then it comes back down to my normal the second day, and then it's high the next day, and then it comes back down to my normal the second day.
So you're getting the spike you would expect.
Yep.
Okay.
I also never fucking sleep either. That's a problem. I sleep
Yeah.
like 5-6 hours a night.
Well, do you wake up tired or do you wake up refreshed?
I've just been like that my entire adult
I was
life.
gonna say, like, my family's like 6 hours. And
All right, we got another question here.
We do. This one's for Tanya. What are your thoughts on protein Pop-Tarts during prep? You're being trolled, Tanya.
I think my client Travis is doing a great job at trolling me.
up the protein Pop-Tarts. Take more. I was so disappointed when I looked at those.
Fair, he could get away with it more than most people, but he's still not.
No, you're right. There's only 10 grams for 2 of those. I'm like, that's ridiculous.
That's almost what it has anyway.
Yeah, it has
Just
like,
from the wheat.
1 gram. What is it?
Yeah, from the
Right.
protein in the
farted
wheat.
protein on it.
And that would be literally, in order to get, you'd have to eat 700 calories of Pop-Tarts to get 20 grams of protein.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I'm all for it, but you know, that's a lot.
just eat Pop-Tarts and have a protein shake. What are we doing?
Yeah. Like, I like to look at food as like high carb or high protein sources, and you know, because that's kind of what it is.
Well, when we sent you that picture the other day, when Jackie and I had grabbed some of those, we saw them on the counter at the store, the protein Pop-Tarts, but I looked at the ingredients, and the worst part is the ingredients. There's nothing of use in that.
Yeah, they
box.
use like milk protein
Milk
concentrate or
concentrate
something
protein,
in it.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I was going to
complete
buy some yesterday
Frankenstein.
just to be funny.
Yeah. But it was like a complete Frankenstein. There's probably, if I'm guessing, 35 ingredients in those Pop-Tarts, and half of them you can't pronounce.
At the Walmart yesterday, that was the only thing available was the protein Pop-Tarts. Nobody wanted them.
Good.
I was laughing my ass off. I saw some guy when we had the snowpocalypse here on the East Coast. Some guy going through the grocery store with a video camera, showing like how all the milk, eggs, chicken, meat, everything was wiped out. And then he went to the keto section. He's like, even with the impending apocalypse, nobody wants to eat this keto bullshit. It was all still there.
What about the vegetarian section?
What about the protein Cheerios? The whole end cap of protein Cheerios now.
Protein
Ghost does have protein.
Imagine being for like $8 a box. Imagine being so bad at eating that you're getting your protein from cereal.
Right.
Look, you just pour Fairlife on some Ghost cereal. You got like 80 grams right there, dog.
Watch the average non-bodybuilder, non-gym goer eat sometime. Like most people, like barely, like you know, I watch my kids, like they barely eat fucking protein.
Yeah.
Most people, and I think that's why people lose so much muscle on GLP-1s. It's they just eat the same shitty high fat, high carb diet that they were eating before. They just eat less of it. And then you just get skinny fat.
When you're eating for taste and flavor, like that's literally your priority.
Let's pause real
And
quick.
satiety, you know, and then you go to the high processed stuff that gives you zero satiety and a ton of calories. Is it any wonder? I mean,
the lean mass losses from these GLP-1s are in line with all of the surgeries that do the same thing. You lose 25 to 35% lean mass.
So, you know, the Legion Pop-Tarts have 29 grams of protein, but also have so much erythritol. They're such gut bombs.
You know what?
Man.
I'd roll my dice on those. I would try those.
Man, sugar alcohols in me.
Those are awful. Do not get the Legion Pop-Tarts if that's the wrong.
Oh, are they bad?
The sugar alcohols in me, it is an instant trip to shit my pants, Bill. If I take any sugar alcohols, man.
Oh, bring some sugar alcohol to the buffet, dog.
Oh my God! You want to talk about canceling out that all you can eat Brazilian buffet, man? Just give me some erythritol afterwards, and I'll clear out quick.
Also, sugar alcohols are the highest calorie, 0 calorie sweetener. They actually have a good fraction of calories still in there, so they're not 0 calorie.
I mean, they come from yams, of course they're high.
Mm-hmm.
My intestines say a fuck no to the sugar alcohols.
I was looking into sugar alcohols artificial sweeteners the other day, and I didn't realize that aspartame and sucralose do such a wreak so much havoc on your gut, where gut dysbiosis is a very high probability if you're abusing sucralose, especially. I didn't realize how
I can.
individual they are.
While you can't absorb it, the gut bacteria can eat it and overgrow, right?
Right.
Yeah, it depends on the person for sure. It doesn't seem to bother me at all. But then, like other people, they can't use artificial sweetener at all, or they'll have a lot of digestive distress. Depends on
your
the
stomach's
person.
going to grow like whatever bacteria type of food, whatever type of food that you eat, the bacteria enjoy, and then you're going to have your body making enzymes to cover the same kind of food, and then eventually you can have histamine reactions to your food that you've been eating the same over and over.
Yeah,
which is likely the cause of your quote unquote protein farts.
Well, that are all the sulfur in your protein food.
Yeah.
And that's also why a food allergy test most likely shows you that you're allergic to everything that you eat.
Well, the IgG ones, yeah, specifically.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, no kidding. That's what's in your blood.
It's just telling you what you're eating. It's not that you're allergic to it.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got next? Sorry.
Next one is from Lindsay. She says, oral BPC for gut health protocol. When is best to take it? On an empty stomach?
Anytime.
Let's see.
I take it in the morning. I take it in the morning on an empty stomach. I've always heard empty stomach's going to do better for oral BPC and also KPV. They just need some time to be absorbed, I guess.
Dave, what is the advantage to the oral absorption, particularly for a gut health protocol? Because it is systemic, really, in nature.
Well, it seems anecdotally, people only report having like actual results on their GI tract. Like,
your GI tract is outside your body.
Say that again?
Your GI tract is outside of your body.
Yeah, it's considered exterior.
Yeah. That's why the oral was only work best to actually have it in your digestive system.
Okay.
Well, I know that the most people are not going to like get their swollen knee to repair from oral BPC. That's going to be from injectable base. I've noticed it worked well. I have issues with my GI, unfortunately, when I get deep into prep. Like when I get pretty lean, eventually I start getting a little bit of inflammation of my gut. I've dealt with that diverticulitis, so I have to be kind of careful too. So I started taking oral BPC and then the KPV, and it was noticeable. Like I felt as if I was tighter and less inflamed. Like I felt like I didn't walk with my stomach out more. Like it certainly helped me quite a bit. But I don't take any injectable oral BPC. I just use the 1 milligram a day for the morning. I like it. I think it works for sure. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. We got a super chat from Larry. For years, exclamation. I wake up every 90 minutes to pee. If I train late or cut water after 6 p.m., I fall right back to sleep, but never wake up refreshed. PSA is 1.0. Do I simply not make enough antidiuretic hormone? What are the solutions?
Well, you're still absorbing like your protein at night, and that's going to encourage diuresis as well. I see people that just go on higher protein seem to pee at night quite a bit. Like even people that I don't have as competitors, and I double their protein, they seem to get up and pee a lot. So I don't know if there's a correlation with that.
Could also have to do with electrolytes.
Well, a lot of, I don't know what Larry's running for.
Yeah, how
cycle, but and guys, that there's the Masteron craze, and Masteron causes it causes a lot of mineral flushing. And I see guys that run Masteron, they're as soon as they throw Masteron in, they're up peeing like fucking 8 times at night.
Yeah, that was my experience last year. 100%.
Oh, you want to get a condom catheter? Put that on?
No, I'll get up.
I'll tell you too. I used to get up and pee multiple times at night, and after I started using the CPAP, I stopped peeing.
Really?
Yep. I think my sleep was just it was so disrupted. I was not getting a restful sleep. Like I wasn't going into a deep sleep, and I thought I had to pee, and I really didn't. It's just
right.
Like,
not urgently. Right. Not urgently.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Okay.
I think there is definitely something to that. Like habit of not sleeping consistently, like kind of retraining that ability to sleep longer is going to be tough, Larry, especially if it's been a really long time. I know some people have had success doing like a little bit of baking soda before bed, like an hour before bed, mixing like a teaspoon of baking soda into water can sometimes help. And like Tanya said, making sure your electrolytes are really optimized before bed. Who was it? It was it Stan Efferding who was so obsessed with sleeping well that he literally sleeps with like a bottle next to his bed, or like a bottle, so that he doesn't have to get up. So like even though he's waking up to to urinate, he's not actually getting out of bed. I mean, that might be something as extreme as it sounds to try, because that might break the habit of like getting up, and like helping you fall back to sleep quicker. But
I remember hearing that story with Stan, that he has it's some kind of device. It's a specific device that he has. That
it's not just like a water bottle
device. No, it's like I think it's like a hospital type medical device of some sort. That's
you can straight cath yourself at night. That's going pretty extreme.
I would say condom casts. Straight casts are very dangerous.
Maybe looking into a CPAP, Larry, I think would be good too.
Yeah.
He wants to know if Paul, do you use the nose mask or the nose pillow or the mask?
I use a full mask. I have a deviated septum, so the nose pillow doesn't. I really have been making a commitment to using the CPAP. I really struggled with it for years. I was prescribed one like a half a decade ago, and I just never could get used to wearing it. And I went in and got a new sleep study done last summer, and I'd say 90% of the time I'm making it through 6-7 hours of the night with it on. I still rip it off occasionally. I just do in the middle of the night. Like, I don't know why. I actually fucking broke one of my masks last week in the middle of the night. I must have panicked and ripped it off. I woke up in the morning, the fucking thing was ripped in half. I'm like, what?
Yikes.
Your partner broke it and didn't tell you?
No, I legit did it myself. It's crazy.
Yeah, I find the full mask the most comfortable. I tried all of them, and I actually thought the full mask was just simple. You throw it on, and I don't fidget with it like the nose pillows. I kept having to readjust it constantly, and that's annoying.
We get a little off center.
Yeah. If it's not right, like, and plus you move around. You got the hose. You're trying to stay bundled up, so it's like it's not ideal. I like the full mask.
Yeah. So, all right. So you guys all like full mask. We think a CPAP might be something he needs. I mean, you can try open your sodium. That's about it.
I mean,
I used to wake up and pee every single night, like at least once. The only thing that stopped it was actually getting in control of my electrolytes, actually tracking it and measuring it and keeping it consistent every day. And that ended up in me reducing both my sodium and potassium like dramatically, because I was using a lot of it, and I was drinking a lot of water because my thirst would just keep up with that. Now I naturally drink a lot less water, and I also sleep through the night. And it was down to just controlling my electrolytes and keeping them consistent every day.
That's a great tip.
How did you track that, Tanya?
Literally measuring it out, just like my food. So I just, in the morning, I measure out my light salt for the day, and that's how much I use for everything.
Well, no, how did you track your levels internally, endogenously?
Oh, I use a chronometer.
Gotcha. So you're checking your consumption.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it includes everything from all the food and everything too.
So did you use any lab test results as a baseline for that, or?
Sorry?
Did you use any lab test results as a baseline for that?
No, I didn't, because I never had any flagged on my electrolytes. Like, that's really hard for it to come across. It has to be extremely off for it to be off on labs. Yeah. So it never flagged really on labs, and it hasn't changed since. So like your body really does moderate your plasma levels really well, because I've come down to like a third of the sodium and potassium I was taking in before, and my blood levels are still the same on my labs. But I sleep through the night now, and I don't drink nearly as much water.
So Tanya, did you just, I think what Larry's question is like, how did you determine the appropriate balance? Did you just kind of titrate down until you stopped having to get up late?
I honestly titrated down to what I thought was a more reasonable level, because when I say it was over 20 grams, I'm not kidding, and that's actual elemental, not the weight. So I brought that down to more like 5 to 10 each and kind of balanced them more and restricted it at that. And instantly I wasn't peeing at night anymore.
Mm-hmm. No, you're saying 8 to 10 grams of light salt or of sodium?
Total sodium and potassium. I was having over 20 grams of each before, just with everything, food and additional combined. And I brought that way down to now the total food and light salt combined is about between 5 and 10, usually 7 to 8 each.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Interesting. Yeah. All right. How are we doing on time, Paul? Do we have time for a couple more?
Yeah, we can nail out another one or two.
Okay. Okay. From Psycho, do you guys think there's a difference if you take HGH after eating a meal as long as glucose is in check?
I mean,
yeah, I think you're okay. I mean, like, ideally, you should be taking it when you're fasted, right? At least a couple hours away from a meal. Like, so I would try to time your meal up. If you're taking it, take your GH right before you go to bed. Postprandial, you'll see your glucose levels start to come back down about 2 hours after you eat. So, or make your last meal no carbs. You could do that, or just wait, an hour and a half to 2 hours after I mean, it's going to take the GH about 2 hours to peak anyway. So probably if you took it an hour after you ate your last meal, you're probably going to be okay. An hour to 2 hours, I would say, because it's going to be 3 hours postprandial. By the time it peaks anyway. So I would say an hour to 2 hours after you eat and before bed is in an ideal world, probably when you would want to do it.
Yeah, GH wrecks my sleep completely. I don't know why I'm one of the unlucky people.
Some people are like that.
So yeah, when I wake up, I pin fairly immediately. Wake up fasted. I know I haven't had anything in at least 5, 6, 7 hours. Pin, wait an hour, do the fasted cardio, boom, done. Call it a day.
There you go.
And then you don't have to worry about like blood glucose spike or anything. I'm not a diabetic or anything. I used to be a pre-diabetic before I lost the weight, though.
Not yet.
So now it's like, fasted 80, 70 something, whatever. It's nice.
All right. From Vegan Gains, have any of you tried injectable Anadrol? Very curious to try and heard great things. How much of a worry are estrogenic side effects? Also recommended dose and duration.
I mean, I love it. I mean, I think it's just like regular oral Anadrol, just stronger. I tend to get away with a lot less.
Stronger, you say?
Well, I mean, I can get away with less. Like 25 milligrams injectable that's a pretty good amount, but orally, some people are going to start at 50, if not a touch more. Yeah.
I noticed that too with the injectable. I was able to dose it at half of what I was taking with the oral. The thing about injectable, I think the downside is that in order for it to be held in the oil, and you might know more about this, Dave, than I do, but it has to have some like benzo alcohol in it in order for it to hold in the oil. So because of that, you get some, for me anyway, some pretty profound pip.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, so it's kind of fun because you stick it in your delts and you have like these big round delts and you alternate delts every day. You're always walking out your delts swole, but it is kind of painful. So you go inject it in your delts and train delts. It's like you definitely feel it.
Does it still go through the liver same as oral? Like, is it still the same physiological effect, just a different vector?
It misses the first pass.
It does miss the first pass.
Yeah.
So it's slightly less damaging, slightly less.
Or it could be slightly less anabolic too.
I did have lower ALT numbers on injectable, and then when I switched back to oral in this last progress season, I switched to D-ball, and my ALT shot way up. So
yeah, and I assume you don't get any acid reflux because you're avoiding the GI tract completely, right? So there's no, or do you get that anyway?
I still had some acid reflux on that.
Oh, okay. So even though it didn't go through the GI tract, still I guess the pharmacokinetics still created that. Okay,
well,
good to know.
From what I understand, the CNS stimulation can cause the proton pump.
Okay, so that's how it works.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's what we see with like trenbolone.
Yeah, GH is a very potent androgen, so it's the CNS stimulation causing issues.
Okay,
but I didn't notice any increase in estrogenic sides to finish answering Vegan Gains' question.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm only like a fan of like 4 to 6 weeks, in all scenarios. I mean, it's a pretty toxic kind of thing if you're going to be taking it orally or injectably. So I'd still say 4 to 6 is my go-to for timeline. So it depends on how you feel.
You guys take pre-workout only, right?
I do. Yeah.
And what's your Dave? What's your use case? Like, when do you put it in? When do you put in Anadrol usually? Like end of a growth phase, or
yeah, kind of like I mean, I just started actually using some last week for my leg days. And yeah, just kind of I don't think there's a use for it like when you're already getting super strong in the rebound. So when I started seeing my lifts kind of level off, you know, I use it a little bit on my leg. Yeah, just to get a little more aggression in gym performance. But I have to be careful too, because now you know, I just hit 240 this morning, and you feel the back pumps coming on. You feel like the you know, the pressure in your lower back, and that all comes too from orals as well. So sometimes I have to tap out pretty quickly, you know, 2-3 weeks, and it's like I can't take the back pumps.
Any issues with you guys with Anadrol and blood pressure at all?
Oh yeah, Anadrol blows my blood pressure up.
Okay.
I would generally starting back as soon as I started Anadrol.
What I did notice though with the Anadrol injectable, this goes along with what Dave was saying, is that you know, usually I'm good for 3-4 weeks on any hardcore oral like that, or even Anavar. I would take Anavar for more than 3 or 4 weeks, and I start just kind of feeling like garbage. Where with the injectable Anadrol, I was able to go like 6 weeks. So
oh wow, okay.
Jackie's favorite. Getting into my Anadrol. Well, it's funny. I can tell. I can just tell by the smell. Like, she can tell if I took a shot of Anadrol, because you can smell that stuff for sure. It's all the solvents.
I was going to say, is it just BA, or are they putting the other stuff in there, like oleanic acid and the guacamole?
I think there's some ethyl oleate and BA. I think it depends. I think they can use a couple different kinds of solvents, but I don't know that off the top of my head.
Gotcha.
What else we got?
Next one's from Shoko. Any competitors eat lean red meat for the majority of their meals, or is it always chicken or fish? Best red meats for bodybuilder diets.
Majority.
We just talked about this.
I don't know about majority.
You got to be really careful with too much red meat and red blood cell count on PEDs, because you're going to have some increased red blood cell hemoglobin hematocrit production, and then you end up with iron overload. You'll see dudes like they'll just, you know, I've seen dudes that are pounding steaks all day long doing carnivore diets, and they load up on the PEDs and they end up with a 62 hematocrit.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound good. That's not good at all.
We were kind of talking about this the other day, and Tanya made a great point. I mean, red meat's one of the most nutrient-rich protein sources we're going to get. But then my counterbalance is, I used to be able to eat it all the time, but as I get older, I can only if I can do one red meat a meal a day, I'm lucky, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it's really good I think it's great to incorporate some red meat for sure, but then it's going to be individual. You know, like Paul said, if somebody's already struggling with blood thickness or high red blood cell count or high iron, then you wouldn't want to have as much. But then on the other hand, if you have somebody who is low iron, maybe they need more red meat.
Exactly.
Maybe
for women, it's such a nutrient dense source of so many things for women. You know, high in ALAs, it's really, really good.
I had to increase my red meat intake to get my iron up. Like, iron supplements don't work. And you don't get heme iron from spinach. So I had to increase my red meat intake a little bit to get my iron up.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've always been a big believer in when it comes to protein sources, to keep them varied, just because of the different the amino acid profiles for each is slightly different. So like kind of mixing it up, you kind of ensure that you're covering the spectrum. So, but red meat, I don't know, like when he says majority, that's immediately like in my head, it's almost like a red flag for like what Paul said. Like, you know, can you digest it? And even if you did, that RBC count.
96 lean ground beef if you get ground beef, and then was it top round is fine, and then sirloin if you're cheating.
Yeah, you can do some fillet and
keep them lean, right? Keep them like lean cuts.
Right. Check the stuff.
Skirt steak is
tri-tip. Yeah, great lean cuts. And there's other types of red meat that are not just beef too. I mean, there's buffalo, there's there's bison, there's elk, there's venison, even ostrich. Like there are so many, like Gonzo said, you know, I'm a huge fan of getting some variety in your protein sources whenever possible. As bodybuilders, we tend to be very, you know, systematic. We eat the same thing every single day, every single week, whatever, but just mixing it up a little bit is really important just to get a broad variety of all nutrients, not just with protein, but with all sources of macros.
Hey, if we go to the Brazilian place, we can get my favorite, churrasco. There you go.
Oh, see, I'm always getting them to give me the chicken hearts. I'm like loaded up. Like that guy walks around, I'm like, give me the whole skewer. I want all of them.
I mean, beef has really high leucine, but I mean, you can also get that from whey if you can tolerate whey. As well. So, but I mean,
the digestion thing again, right?
Beef has I love red meat. I have cut back though, because for the first time in forever, my hemoglobin and hematocrit were actually high. When just TRT, I think I was eating too much red meat. I was eating it 2 or 3 times a day.
Oh wow!
I just love beef, and then it was the highest my hemoglobin's ever been, and I was essentially just 300 tests.
It was delicious.
Although I realized that my Primo was actually equipoise, so that was
so maybe it wasn't just the beef intake.
Yeah, it was only 150 milligrams. It wasn't like a ton, so it was probably the combination of the two. But
was that recent, Paul?
Yeah, recently. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he probably went on when he told everybody it was. Oh, hadn't been taking Primo. I've been taking EQ.
Yeah, I know it wasn't faked. I was just a dumbass. The label was so small, and I wasn't wearing my glasses when I was injecting it. It's the same color bottle, and I thought it was
self-inflicted wound.
I literally had like
we're very smart people. I promise.
I literally had like 2 bottles of Equipoise from like years ago, just hanging around. It was in with my collection and with all my other. It was in the same container with my Primo, and I just luckily grabbed the one out that was Equipoise. And I went to donate blood because I hadn't done it in a while. I just like to do it once in a while. And they tested my hemoglobin. It was 19, and I'm like, what? It's never been that high. I was at this high on 300.
Almost old enough to drink.
And then I realized I went back and double checked everything. I'm like, God damn it, that's Equipoise is the only thing that blows my hemoglobin up. But I've also been eating a lot of red meat lately. Like I just love steak. I eat
Anadrol slipped in here and there. A little Anadrol maybe.
Yeah, Anadrol and Equipoise. If you want to raise your red blood cell count, that's the way to do it.
Or if you want to go live like above 10,000 feet. You know, and run a marathon there.
Hey, Paul, someone like myself who took a little bit of a hit with iron and ferritin in my when I was running the Retatrutide during my prep, you think like a one red meat meal a day would benefit me, being more bioavailable from
possibly? But I think a lot of that is what I've seen is it's not so much an iron deficiency. It's B12 is the issue.
Oh.
It seems that people there's some micronutrient malabsorption that seems to happen with the GLP-1s. And I've noticed that people are deficient on vitamin D, even though they're supplementing vitamin D after long-term GLP-1 use. I noticed that people are also deficient on B12. It's B12 like is not that bioavailable orally to begin with.
Time to run out B12 too. So if you're low on B12, you haven't had it in your system.
But it's been bizarre, man. I've seen people with like high-ish hemoglobin and hematocrit and low ferritin, which makes no fucking sense, right? When you think about it, I never saw this until people started taking GLP-1s, and then RDW and MCV also get really fucking wacky too. Like basically your red blood cells are empty. There's nothing in them.
That's funny. I did notice that this year. You're right. The MCV specifically. That's funny.
And it all
is the only year I've run the GLP-1.
Might correlate with B12. I'm not sure offhand.
It seems to be B12 and folate are both being. There's a malabsorption of both. when you're on GLP-1s. I mean, that's just my speculation. Who the fuck knows if I'm
it's
right?
possible you're gonna absorb less food from your slower digestion.
Yeah.
So
You know,
get
the
a
other
shot
thing,
of folate and B12 and fix it up.
But I've been able to fix it with people with folate and B12, and it seems to get things back in line. While the injectable B12.
Yeah, always.
Oh, there's
I've always
there's
got a high B12 on my bloods for no reason.
So there's a lab that that measures like the variety and size of your red blood cells. I forget which one that is, but that's one also that I saw recently that was slightly above range, like that the variety.
Yeah, that just happens. The red.
Oh, is that a thing? Is that like
red
a
blood cell width? I mean, it's from the it's from the anabolism, and your bone marrow is going to make more red blood cells. But you get into these weird, bizarre situations where sometimes ferritin's going to be an indicator of how much iron basically you have in reserve, and you get in these weird situations where it's depleted, and then your red blood cells are like devoid of anything. You're making all these red blood cells that are completely devoid of anything.
So my general practitioner like remarked on it, and I'm like, look, sir, do you really want to ask questions do you really want to know the answer to the questions you're asking?
So I guess you end up in this weird, and B12 is also important for iron absorption and yada yada. There's all these downstream.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to say, and then what I was talking about, MCV going higher with low B12 makes perfect sense.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, and that's what happens is MCV will get higher with a low B12, and then you end up in this weird, and that's kind of how I sussed it out. And it seems to be running people on folate, having to meet a little more, but you got to be careful because they also still have high red blood cell count. So I don't know, but I don't know how meaningful that is if the red blood cell is devoid of iron, right?
Right.
I don't know, but anyway, it's bizarre.
Wonder if people should consider the what are they, the super shredder or the lipo blends that that have the B vitamin mixtures in them, during their prep. If they're going to run Retta, maybe run the super shredder that has the B6, B3, B12s.
Right. I'll just say this: if you're on a GLP-1, you need to probably get some micronutrient testing done, or you need to pay closer attention to micronutrient deficiencies.
Or just look at your blood cells, because like the MCV will be high for low B12. I'm sure folate does something else. I used to know them all, but
right.
Well,
interestingly,
and if it messes with your absorption rates for different nutrients, it's going to skew everything slightly, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
when the GLP-1s were first introduced, I mean, we're talking back in when it was just the regular Ozempic, when it first came more into the mainstream back in 2023, that was the number one recommendation that we were getting with medical professional information, was to test B12 levels specifically and to supplement B12 always along with when you'd initiate using them. But I feel like that was it didn't really make it into the mainstream thought process, thought of people with that, even though it was the initial recommendation. It got kind of really brushed over, but I think it's now that we've seen people for years on them, we're seeing those deficiencies coming up in people who were not initiating these GLPs with any type of micronutrient tracking.
Makes sense.
What would make MCV be lower with a high RBC and a low iron level? Because I actually have that case with a client right now. MCV, MCH, and MCHC are all a little bit low. Iron is low, but his RBCs are high.
So it's a lot.
Well, the RBCs are going to be from the anabolic, so he's probably low iron, right? His iron's he's probably anemic.
Yeah,
bizarrely.
Yeah, iron deficiencies, you're low MCV.
Yeah, he's one of the ones that I actually have eating more red meat.
Yeah, he's
red meat, use iron skillets. I agree with that. Iron supplements aren't worth a crap.
Yeah.
Even with vitamin C. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah. Great thing to get is, if you've probably seen it, Tanya, you can get them on Amazon. It's a little fish usually that is made of iron that you can just kind of rub a few times a day. Is a great thing to add into.
Oh, wow.
Because the way that I was thinking is it sounds to me like he's got a lot of red blood cells. They're just not carrying the iron they're supposed to be carrying.
Correct.
Yeah, and it all can be interrelated with the B12 too, because B12 has an effect on how the red blood cells are matured, right? So, and their carrying capacity, all these things. Yeah, it all seems to be all interrelated. Yeah, and it's really been. I never really saw much of this until people started using GLP-1s.
Yeah. B12, folate, and iron, I think, are your primary causers of anemia beyond your, sickle cell and all those other various traits.
Yep. All right, guys, I got to wrap this up. Got a bunch of shit I got to do before the Super Bowl.
Thank you for having me on finally, Paul.
Yeah.
It's great to have you.
For the blunt god.
I will come back as often as you want me on. I love hanging out with my friends.
Hopefully we were gentle. Are you going to be at the Arnold?
No, I'm going to be like 2 weeks out at the Arnold. I can't.
Oh, right, yeah.
Oh, yeah. No,
that's not. It sucks because everybody who's cool is going that I want to be around.
Next
I could just carry you the whole time.
Thanks, Larry.
It'd be like Master Blaster. It'd be awesome.
All right, folks. We appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for all your support.